Hey there, my name is Mike Munzing. I'm with CRESTLINE Funding. It's another Friday. It's Friday, April 16th, day after tax day. I'm a little sunburned, as you can see. I was out at one of those crazy tea parties yesterday. Very exciting. I had a chance to speak to about 800 to 1,000 people for the first time, and it was a great time. You can find that out on YouTube. But hey, this week is time for the foreclosure update again for the month of March 2010. We've got some very interesting numbers. You're hearing on the news, I'm sure, that foreclosures have ramped up, and they have. And let's go over some of those numbers. But first, what I want to do is touch base real quickly on the rates for the week. Now, I'm not going to give you the rates. This is on my website. You can print this up. Go to my website at www.mikemunzing.com. Pull this up, print it up, take it to your open house, talk to your clients about it. Rates have improved a little. It's been a good week for the bond market. Got a little note here that the bonds have today alone rallied up 38 basis points. That's a good thing. And 81 basis points for the week, which means that the yield, the price went up, the yield came down, rates improved. That's a great thing. Also want to touch base again real quickly on how much home can you afford flyer that I've got on my website. Go print that up. You can see it. It's on my main page. It's on the side of my page. Great information. Look at it. You'll see where the benefits are with that. It's a great tool. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You can download it onto your computer. Use that with your clients. Okay, let's jump into those March foreclosure numbers. What I'm going to do is bring up just a little snapshot so you can see it of the foreclosure radar report for March. It's on my website. You can go get it there. You can go to foreclosureradar.com as well. A lot of you have probably subscribed to that. It's got great information about specific properties. If you're tracking them for buyers, it's a great way to go. But once again, the report, 5-6 pages long on my website. You might want to pause this video, print that up, follow along as we go through the charts. But real quick, I want to read what Sean said for the month. The overview, we've had a big increase, about 92.3% increase over a year ago. So the foreclosures are ramping up again. But Sean, the owner of Foreclosure Radar, says, despite efforts to promote foreclosure alternatives like loan modifications and short sales, the simple reality is that there isn't a program for everyone. Unraveling trillions of dollars in excess debt will take time. The foreclosure part is part of the solution. It's not the problem. We've talked about that for quite some time now, that the foreclosures need to happen. They're in there for a reason. It's a tool that the market has developed that gets the folks who can't afford their homes out of the homes. They shouldn't have bought them anyway in many cases. And it gets the properties back onto the market. You know you've got buyers. I've got buyers I've got borrowers along with you that are ready to go. They're qualified. We just can't find the right homes. We need those properties back on the market. Let's run through some of the charts. We've got about 8 charts I want to run through. We're going to zip through those real quick and grab those here and let you know what's going on. Let's start with the whole process. We're going to start with the notice of default. Bring it up here. The notice of default for the month of March is up only about 3.7% to a level of 32,484. As you can see, we've got a little blip at the end here. It's starting to kick up again. But from a year ago, as you can see on the chart, we're down still about 44.6% from a year ago on the notices of default. That's when the banks first send that notice out to the delinquent home buyer or homeowner. Next is the next phase, which is the notice of trustee sale. That's when they get the notice that their property is going up for sale on the steps of the courthouse. And that has jumped up about 17.5% to 33,489 over in the far end here. It has just been a zigzag all across the months. These numbers have all been so manipulated by the foreclosure moratoriums, all different aspects that the government's been trying to do. These direct lenders are in some cases I hear, they're taking the payments, or they're actually taking it back, they're not getting the payments, and they're not filing. So we're just starting to see the activity building up again. There's such a huge backlog with the banks that they haven't even started filing yet, but we are starting to see some activity here. Next would be once the property goes to the steps of the courthouse, a number of things happen. This chart here is the properties that have gone back to the bank. This is back, become a REO, goes for the foreclosure. The bank takes it back. Nobody buys the property. And that level for California this month was 15,304, which is up about 28.14%. The interesting thing is, from quite some time ago, this number is at 79.2% of the properties were taken back. Those are much, much higher, as you'll see in this next chart here. These are the properties that are sold to a third party. That's the alternative there. And that is basically about 20% of the market. It used to be 3 to 4% of the market. In this case, as you can see, it's gone up and up and up to about 20% of the market. That was up from last month about 11.04%, and that is up 266% from just 1 year ago on the chart here. On this side of the chart, it's just ramped up tremendously over the past year. The one other aspect is the cancellations, and you can see here that it's ramped up as well. As some of these government programs are working, they're taking some time to see if the people, after the modifications, if they're going to be able to hang in there. And as they hang in there, they cancel the proposed foreclosure. And you can see the cancellation side is ramping up as well, trying to clear out the properties off the market there. A couple of numbers here I want to show you. Pre-foreclosures, these are the number of properties that are in all of the pre-foreclosure states, after the notice of default or the notice of trustee sale, but they haven't gone to the steps of the courthouse. And this number has been fairly stagnant across the whole chart here. As you can see, it's for this last month is up about 12.59%, and that is at a level of about 157,768 for the properties that are kind of backlogged and ready to go to foreclosure. Next would be the actual properties that are scheduled for foreclosure. This is a little bit different number. They're actually scheduled. The notice of trustee sale has been filed, but delays have happened. They've been delaying the sale, but they're still there ready to go on the foreclosure. And that is at 141,669, and that is down just fractionally at 2.47%. But you can see the big jump up, and it's just leveled off and dipped a little bit. The final chart I want to show you is the inventory. I keep hearing about this for a long time. I was talking about the tidal wave of properties that are still coming. They are getting very creative with the government. Personally, I don't think they're going to be able to hang in there and keep it going. There's not enough money in the world to do that. But at this point, you've got the slow decline in inventory held by the banks that need to hit the market and need to get sold. So that's been slowly declining. It is down another 1.36% at about 90,302 properties, as you can see on the far side here. So at least it gives you an idea that the initial stages of the foreclosures have been ramping up. The actual sales jumped 92% from a year ago. But these are interesting times. I'm still hearing a lot of numbers of delinquencies coming into the pipe. Properties are still very much underwater. We've been dealing with this in any way we can. The government's been, as I said, over and over, stepping in more than I certainly believe they should. We don't have the money to do that. Foreclosures are here for a reason. They're here to turn properties over. Once somebody goes through a foreclosure, they can be back in the market in 4 or 5 years. Their credit's clean enough to get another loan. It's time to recycle these properties, get them in with folks who can actually afford them. And if you keep having people locked into upside down properties, that's a huge problem. If they start forgiving, which they're proposing, I'm horrified by that, start proposing to forgive actual principal, it's bad for society. It's a bad moral move for our country as a whole. But lately that's been kind of the way they're going. So give you an update, give you some ideas what's going on with foreclosures. Okay, as we head into a beautiful weekend, I just want to remind you about my online application. If you find any buyers over the weekend, I'm working. Yeah, I'm running for that crazy office thing, but that's going to be not a busy thing here, but I'm still working for you. I'm out here. I'm not going anywhere. I've been 20 years working loans in this industry. There are changes everywhere. I'm always staying on top of what's happening, the latest programs. The quickest way to get your clients approved is get them over to my online application. It's on my website once again, and have them fill it out, On the bottom it has a submit button. It sends it right to me as an email, and I will break it down, pull their credit, make sure they can qualify, and get you a good qualified buyer ready to write that offer. Once again, my name is Mike Munzing, CRESTLINE Funding. I'm here for you. I'm here for your buyers. I look forward to working with you closely. As these summer months are coming up, we're going to see a little spike, I think, in buyers. That'll be exciting. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.